Hello and welcome to a new Godot tutorial. My name is Andy, and in this tutorial number 11 we will start creating collectible items. So in this special case we will create gears that can be collected and will give you points at the end of the level. And therefore I have created this gear here, which is painted in Krita. If you want to know how I paint my assets for the games, just check out this tutorial here, which is displayed now. And you can see how I paint assets for my games. And we will now jump into Godot and create that collectible item here in this case. So we will, first of all, we create a new scene and just add in a node 2D, which we will call gear. And now let's add a sprite and select our texture here. So I have saved it as a PNG file, and we will use it here. So now we will create an animation, so it's not too static. Therefore we will use the animation player and just jump right into it. Create a new animation which is called anim and just edit it. So therefore we will create a flow up and down animation, so it is just floating a little bit, and we will key the position of our gear here, which is here. So first of all we will create that key here, insert it, then move half a second forward and reposition it. So we will put it to -50, or yeah, let's use -50, key it again, and now we have this up animation, and we just can say toggle this loop button here and it will loop up and down. So we have this up and down motion. At the moment we have a linear motion, and we will change it. We will select this tracks here, or this keys, and go to track, set transition, out in. So this will give us a fade in and fade out animation. So you see that it's now accelerating and getting slower, and which gives it a nice motion. We'll also create a rotation animation, and this will be done with the rotation here. So just key it, and let's go here to this frame, and since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements, we will just key it with 60 degree. So as you see, you won't notice the jump here. So we don't have a complete animation or a complete rotation, but since this is mirrored anyway, you won't see the jump. So as you can see here. Okay, I think that's it for the animation. And now we will, first of all, we will save that as gear.xml. You can save your files as seed files or as XML files. I use XML because you can open them with the editor and maybe edit them with the code, or it's not necessary, but I like it that way. Now let's save it and create a new script for it. So this will be gear.gd, and we will save it in the scripts folder. Okay, so, and now we will create a few variables. First of all, we will create an export variable. So we say export var value. So this will have a value. So we can have smaller gears which will give us 1 point, and bigger gears which will give us 5 points, for example. And we will export that value here. Okay. Now in the init or in the ready function, we will create let's do it different. First of all, we will go to our level and create here a new script for. So this will be called level, and we save it under scripts. So create, and here we will have also a variable gears total, which is 0, and gears collected, which is also 0. So, and now we will jump back into our gear. So first of all, the gears will add the total, or will increase the total gears variable by 1, or by the value. So we will say if get owner will be the very first root node, and if it's itself, it will be null, and if it is a different node, then it will give us that node. So if it is null, unequal null, it will set us our variable, which is gears underscore get owner dot gears underscore total plus equals value. So let's try it out, and so let's see if what we get with get owner. You see at the moment it is null because the gear is the first node, and that's why it gives us null. But if we place a gear in our level, let's try it out. We'll create a new node which is called gears, and in that gears we will add all our gears. So we will structure it a little bit. Okay, at the moment it is not the right scale, but we will adjust that later. And if we start it now, you see that it will give us a node, and this is our world node. So if we print it, for example, the name, we will get world, so that's fine. And now once the gear is created, it will increase the value by this one here, and that's what we want. So okay, that is set, and now we will create a new node which is an area 2D node, and in that area 2D node we will add a collider, so a collision shape, which will be a simple circle shape. And we will go into the resource here and increase the scale or the radius to about 50, or let's say 150. Okay, so once the player hits that collider here, it will be collected, and the collected gears variable will be increased. So now we will start creating signals. So if we jump over to the help here and select our area node, we see that we have the signals here, body enter, and if our body collides with an object, it will give us the object and trigger that function here, and we can connect that function with the signals here. So we just say body enter connect, and it will create our let's say collect gear. We will create that function here, collect gear, and we will connect that. So you see that the function is created directly. Let's try it out. Let's say print body.getName. Now let's see what happens if we see that player here. So once he hits it, he will print our player name, and that's what we want. Now we have created that signal with the GUI here, so we can, and I want to show you how to connect it with the code, because sometimes it can get, yeah, you will overlook something maybe because you don't always look into the connectors here, and that's why we will do it with the code now. So we will say here connect, then we will say body underscore enter, because we have, if we search for connect here, we have a connect function in our object, which is this one here, and where we have to say the signal string, then the object which will be connected, and the function that is going to be triggered. So in our case it is the body enter signal which we want to trigger, and the body enter signal can be seen here. So these are all the signals that can be used here. So we will say body enter, then self, because it will be the gear object, and we will trigger underscore collect gear. So that's it, and let's see if it works. And we don't have a collision, as you see, so we have made an error. I'm sorry, we have to say get node, because we want to connect the area 2D, of course. So we say area 2D dot connect, and that should work now. Okay, as you see, it works. So if we hit that gear, we will trigger that function. Perfect. And what we are going to do now is that we want to remove the gear, and therefore we can just say what was it called? Therefore we can use the keyframe function. So keyframe, and we can see what happens now. So okay, once we hit it, it disappears. And before we free it, we will count the collected gears with the we will increase it with that value here. So we will also say this one here, but not total. We will say collected. Okay, and we will print that here so we can see if it really gets increased. We will print it one time before and also after that function. So let's see if it works. Okay, it is 0 at first, and later it will be 1. Now let's go into our level and duplicate them. And this one here will have a value of 5. So let's see if it works. Okay, it increases, and there we have 8, which works perfectly fine. Great. I've noticed I've forgotten to start our animation. So if we start the... Oh, sorry, this will be deleted. So the animation doesn't play, and therefore we will just have to toggle this autoplay button, and now it should work fine. Okay, now let's decrease the scale of our node here to about the half, 0.5 and 0.5. I think this is a good size, and it works fine. Okay, and one last thing I want to do is I will also create an animation for disappearing. So, and in this case I will show you how you can also call functions in your animations. and this is really cool in Godot. So we will create a new animation which is called collect, and in this case we will animate the opacity. So it is at first at 1, and then it will get 0, or it will become 0. So, and once it is 0, we will call a function. So we will add a new track here, add call func, and add this plus sign here. Now let's control click on that dot here and say q underscore whoops, sorry. Okay, that's right. We will call the function q underscore free. We won't need any arguments, so this will be set to 0. If we have a function with arguments, we will increase them here and say which argument it is. So, for example, we can create a function func say hello, and it will get a string text. So here's a text, and we will say print text. And now we can also call that function here. So let's create a new track, and we will call the function say hello. It will get an argument. It will be a string argument. So we will say, where is it? String, 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 there, and say hello. Okay, now let's see if it works. Of course, we have to call that function once we are here. What error was there? Oh, this is text. So once it is collected, we will call that function get node animation player dot play, and this will be collect. And so we don't trigger that function more than once. We will ask if we will see if that animation is already running or not. So we have a function which is called get current animation. Pause length, no. Where is it? Find anim, no. Here, get current animation, this one. And this will give us a string. So get current animation. And if it is not collect, then play everything and check everything else. So, okay, let's see if it works. Oh, of course we have to okay, go back here and let's try it. Okay, you see the function say hello is triggered, which is perfect. They disappear and get deleted, which is great. Okay, fine. I think we have done almost everything we need here. Now we will go back to, or we will make this a little bit shorter. Let's try it again. Fine, this looks good. And we will delete that say hello function and delete that track here. And now let's go back to our level. With Control, Shift and O, you can open this quick open scene panel, and this will show you all scenes you have in your project. So this makes it makes opening the scenes much faster. You can also type in which scene you want to filter, and this works pretty good. So in our level, we will create a very simple label node. Let's look for it. Label. And this label will always display our gear count. So we'll parent this to GUI. Where is it? And this will be our gear count. Okay. Now let's see. There it is. And now we will go back to our gear and just say get node. So this was GUI, and then label dot set text, and this will be a string of the collected. So let's see, GUI. Okay, GUI is written small, so we will adjust that here. GUI and label. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 8. Perfect. And we will also indicate that our gears which have a value of 5 are bigger. Oh, that's too big. Let's say .7, and now you immediately see that you have that these gears are or have a higher value. And one last thing I want to add, which is a new label, gears total, and this will be gears collected. Okay, go into our gear XML and adjust that to gears collected. And here we will set it to gears total. Okay. And the gears total will be set here or displayed here. Okay, now we have 8 total gears and we have collected 8 gears, and this you can use later in your or in the conclusion screen that you have to give points to your player depending on how much gears he has collected. Okay, I think I think that's it for this tutorial, and we will call this done. I hope you have learned something and find it useful. If so, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to my channel for new tutorials in the future. And you are also welcome to share this video with other people, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.